are helping small businesses reopen.
Oh, rad.
So anyone, you know me, if there's anyone who's bringing marketing resources to this that we can tap into, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm very familiar with the guys over at Hawk. I collaborated with them during my Think LA days.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Nina, what about you? You had some exciting news this week, right? You talking about grant money.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
You.
Okay. Yeah, you mean the grant that I got with the event that I did on Monday?
Yeah. Talk to us.
Huh?
That was was that with the city?
The Department of Cultural Affairs gave me a grant to repurpose this event that I was going to do in LA in March. I was planning and, just in motion of coordinating that, and it got canceled because of this COVID. They had given me the grant to do it in a physical space. So they said that if I could repurpose my event online, they could still award me the grant. And that's what happened. And so I successfully pulled a 16-hour marathon event.
Good for you.
Single-handedly.
Man, I saw you. I was like, she's still online. She is still on the Matrix. I was like, goodness gracious. I'm happy to hear you, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was so funny is, like, usually when I produce an event, I'm always wiped out the next day and am just in bed. And so doing the 16-hour online marathon in my home, it was exactly the same. I was so wiped out. I'm like, I was just in my living room, but I was so wiped out. So I stayed in bed and rested.
Who would have ever thought that you would need a nap working at home? But,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you're doing it right. I'll tell you that much.
Better pillows than at work.
Right? It's been so dang hot out here that it's been tough. I've been alternating between my bedroom, which is kind of like my office, and the living room, and it's but what I realized, like, my computers and my phones, it's over 100 out here right now, but they are just like walking heaters on me. You know what I mean? So I'll have like my laptop on my lap for a couple hours, and I'm like, dude, am I boiling right now? Because it really feels like my skin is about to boil up. Like, it's so crazy. So shout out to you.
Where are you?
I'm in Joshua Tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I moved out to Joshua Tree in February.
Wow. Already 100.
I know. It's only 10:30 and it's 100 degrees.
Oh, last night, I mean, it's too hot to even walk my dogs. I just threw them in the car and just drove in Joshua Tree for a bit with the windows rolled down. It was 89 at 10 o'clock at night.
That's crazy.
Wild, right? Wild. So I totally empathize with people that live in like rural communities like this, where if there's not a ton going on, I mean, you're invisible in a lot of ways, man. Like, even the kids out here, there's like, if you're 12 years old, it's 120 degrees inside, and you can't drive. But the coolest thing is Walmart, and that's even like 20 miles away. Is good luck, right?
The thing is, you probably have like no COVID there at all, because it just can't live there.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's where I do think that I'm lucky, is that whenever I was going in and out of LA, I did feel a little claustrophobic. There's just so much more air and like wide open space, and your neighbors are, so certainly lucky that way. I mean, LA and New York just got hit hard, man. Too hard.
Well, that's the big problem with California right now, is that there's so many rural areas where COVID's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And so how do you reopen? You kind of make this statewide thing and make everyone stay at home, and it's like, okay. Yeah,
it's tough, man. Hopefully, with the initiatives that are happening, I know that people are pushing for businesses reopening. I want, and no one knows, it's a crapshoot, right? But I just want to be as intelligent as possible You know what I'm saying? Like let's leverage technology, you know, as much as we possibly can to, you know, because no one knows the ramifications of a second wave. No one knows, you know what I'm saying? And we're trying to predict all that.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's difficult, man, but, you know, we are talking our livelihoods. So it's tough, man. What's up, sir? You feeling that crown on your head, my good sir?
Bless, man. I'm in 2 meetings at the same time, so I'm gonna be kind of quiet.
Okay. Well, this is,
one with my school.
No worries, my man. I want to go ahead and get us started. Just, you know, make sure make the best use of everyone's time. I'll be recording this if you want to catch this later. I just wanted to catch our marketing subcommittee up to speed in terms of, you know, where we're at and, you know, how we're looking at things. I'm glad to hear that everyone is happy and healthy and productive and doing good things. I just want to acknowledge you guys for doing your work. You know, in terms of where we are, we had a great meeting with Restaurants Opportunities Center United. Restaurant Opportunities Center of Los Angeles, which is a NGO working in LA on the front lines, trying to work for equitable wages for hospitality members. So we had this really great conversation just regarding all the stuff, all the cool stuff we're talking about, like new economies and what the future of work is going to look like. Soprano has agreed to join our product and our soil committees. So super excited about his participation and his vantage point. It sounds like there might be an opportunity with the LA Cooperative, a third partner, alongside ROC LA to do some sort of an incubator or entrepreneurs program for their network of members. So, you know, this is a program that ROC has been wanting to get kicked off. And so some of the things that we've been talking about have been exciting to them. So they're really excited about, you know, potentially getting some grant money. So super excited about that. In terms of, you know, what some of our other team members are doing, and, you know, I want to give you guys this foundation of what the other team members are doing, because I think that a lot of marketing is cognizant of, you know, what our other teams are doing, right? The product that we're putting together. Our product team has just been taking a life of its own. Like, I'm just so proud of like the work that we're doing. You know, we have begun the process, the design thinking process, and have started compiling all of our different research and all of our different vantage points, in terms of the different customer segments that we are looking to target. Luna has just done a beautiful job of organizing everyone. We've done about 4 design thinking exercises this week, which I'll share with you guys later, but we have a couple mind maps in place. We've done a couple mural boards. We've done some keyword research. And we believe that we have a couple of prototypes for, you know, potential products or services, which again is, you know, in line with our timeline, So super excited about what comes on the next meeting, because we only have 2 more before the initial phase of our restaurant bailout committee is looking to dissolve. And, you know, we'll be presenting to the world. Basically, we're quite literally open sourcing a business here, right? You know, I'll maybe let me share my screen so you guys can start seeing some of the stuff that I'm talking about in terms of the research that Luna and team have done. They're just such creative thinkers. We've actually had another board member come on board, Emma Ho, who is a super brilliant sustainable consultant. She has agreed to join our agriculture or soil committee, as well as our product committee. But, you know, we are exploring concepts around like land use and land planning. So super excited to have her on board. She's already put together, you know, some prototypes on, you know, potential solutions, you know, for how we want to, you know, use this land or use this product or whatever it is, you know, once it actually gets done. So that's Emma, if you want to check her out. And then I want to show you the mural board that Luna and the design team have started working on. We actually have some additional members. We had Hector, who is a friend of Luna, who's coming aboard as a marketing consultant. He wasn't able to make it, but I think he wants to stay on the product team for now. And then also Mateus. Mateus is a former head chef for the United Nations, or excuse me, the U.S. Embassy in Paris. He's doing some really exciting work in New York. He is he's been, again, he's a resource that Luna provided, but he is providing his unique vantage point, his network for our product team. And so let me see if I can pull Luna's mind map for you guys, because I can't tell you, she's brilliant. Okay, so this is the first board. Does anyone have any questions so far while I'm pulling some of this stuff up?
Yes, I do.
What's up, Nina?
I'd like to know more about the soil team. I just signed an agreement yesterday as a distributor of a soil solution that is 100% organic, and their farmers are using it in India, and they want to expand the product market, but it regenerates your soil. It adds all the missing nutrients that were missing because the soil now has a lot of different, with climate change and so forth, we're missing a lot of nutrients and minerals. So this soil solution, again, that's 100% organic, adds those necessary nutrients that's supposed to be in, say, a potato or
Nina,
whatever.
all right, I'm gonna cut you off because you're a genius. Oh, sorry, you're gonna say something else?
Yeah, and then I was going to say it also speeds up the growth of the produce by 30%. Your growing ability, it increases it. So I'm repping that product for US and for Africa, and I'd like to see if we can utilize it.
So in terms of our soil committee, we're supposed to have our inaugural meeting later this afternoon. But oh, hold on, I think Nancy might be trying to join. Oh no, she's not. Okay. But so that committee is a combination of agriculture and land use. And so the conversation, Nina, that I had with both Emma and Luna this week was, so it sounds like we're looking at, 2 plots of land, or, doing this experience in 2 places, like one in South LA and then somewhere out in the desert, and I think the idea is to find, some sort of land or some sort of resource that is thrown away, discarded, there's no value in it, et cetera, and then provide like our solution, right? So we are providing the digital equity to these underserved communities, right? So then it's also providing, real equity in terms of like repairing, restructuring, land that was, abandoned and, that no one saw any value in. So, more on that to come. And I thank you for bringing that up, because I think that, in addition to, this digital campaign, land and land use is going to be very, very, very important, right? Because that then offers the opportunity for social currency exchange. So, if this is like a dining experience, well, you come to our community garden, right? And you put in 3 or 4 hours and, you compost or you plant vegetables or whatever it is, right? And that means that you get to come to our dining experiences, et cetera, et cetera. Those are some of the ideas that have been floating out.
Okay.
Got it?
Uh-huh. So cool. What about this solution that I'm talking about? I have several agricultural technologies that.
Well, I don't know how that. I don't think we have a product yet. We don't know exactly how we're planning on using the land. I mean, if in my head, it's like if we get, some land in Joshua Tree, land in Joshua Tree is crap, so there would be a lot of groundwork that would need to take place in order to make, land fertile and for if we were to do like a community garden, right? But I don't know if that is, I don't know where the community garden fits in terms of, the overall strategy yet. The product team hasn't made the recommendations on how we want to do those things yet.
Okay.
You have more questions?
Yeah, but this solution does regenerate the soil. So, so it will take any soil and you can grow high quality, high nutrient food.
Well, so I think that you're just pointing out that, the soil team needs to get meeting now so that we can put together a unique point of view or perspective that the product team can, make sure that they consider. You dig?
Uh-huh.
So I will get on that, and I'll send an email after we hop off the call. We got about 10 minutes, so I want to respect y'all's time. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to add before I showed you guys Luna's mind map and wrap us up here?
Sorry, say that one more time.
I was just asking if anyone had any other questions before I went through some of the research that product team has done and wrapped us up with a little bit before we got out of here.
Terrence, just real quick, did you say that you got Mateus through Luna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll follow up with her directly.
Go for it. Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. So this is again, this is one of the mind maps that Luna's put together. I just love the way that she sees words, right? And how she categorizes them by color. And this all makes more sense to her than it does to me. But, we are starting to extrapolate, keywords, which we then can bucket into themes, which we then can start bucketing into, matching those against the pain points of our users, which we then can start putting together product recommendations and service recommendations. These are all the essential elements. These are basically the keywords that I believe are going to be, the ultimate business plan that we put together. But, I just want you guys to see, some of the hard work that she's already done. And then in terms of, consolidating this data and putting it in, providing a visual representation of it, we've taken a step further, both as individuals and then collaboratively as a product team. My computer runs so slow and I have Zoom on. There we go. So again, this is a tool known as the value proposition canvas. So this is an exercise that we are using in order to understand, quite literally what the value proposition that we are offering to the different customer groups that we are looking to target. Another example is, this is so big. All the way down. Okay. Sorry guys, this is a new tool for me. I just want you guys just to, oh well, I can provide a link a little bit later. But again, this is just, again, the product team is just kicking ass. I really want you guys to see this because they're, all right, I'll provide a link. So product team is making some steady movement. We're hearing, words like kitchen, community kitchen, membership club, ghost kitchen. So, if we're talking about the product that we are ultimately looking to develop, I think that is where we are trending. But, again, who knows, right? That's why we do this design thinking process. In terms of, so in terms of marketing, I think, once we have a little bit more clarity, hopefully by our next meeting next week, we'll at least have the keywords that we're going to want to focus on so that we can begin the process of putting together our 90-day strategy. We have a couple of goals that we've already put together, right? We have our June 10th, present to the board, present to the world, announce this. We're going to put a digital piece of content out there and then support it with a campaign. That's going to take place over a 90-day period, right? And the 90-day period is then going to kick off an event or a prototype, an experience, right? So those are the two goals that we are focused on. And then hopefully we can do this again next year. But then, in terms of KPIs, our key performance indicators, whether or not we are actually doing our job. Food Tribe has broken out our KPIs into awareness, right? So the number of people that we're reaching, acquisition, the number of people that we acquire, activation, the number of people that accept our message, the revenue that we're able to generate, referral, right? The number of people that talk about and share our message, the growth that we see in the form of, team members, potentially pieces of content that we put out, right? And then helping. This is a solution about helping. That is our foundation. So, we are looking, depending on the user groups that we have, if we're focused on single moms, it's like, okay, are we employing single moms? Are we focusing on inmates? Are we focusing on, recidivism, et cetera, right? So we are still trying to flush those things out. In terms of where I need your help, I'm continuing the process of consolidating all of this data and the team members and tools and resources. So I need to understand what you guys do really well. Like I've all heard it, over the phone, but I need something a little bit more tangible in the form of a document, an explainer that needs to include your rate card, your business goals, right? What you guys do really well, your value proposition, potentially how we might be able to forge a partnership as a result of this, right? And I'm making it easy for you. I have a committee member registration form that I'm going to send to you guys. If you could just take, 5 to 10 minutes of your day to fill that out and send me any information that you feel is pertinent, that would be helpful. Because then from there, we're going to start the process of our editorial calendar, which is going to be, I'm going to be giving you guys pieces of content to share in your respective social media channels. We can start planning, our committees and planning, the tentpole pieces of content that we're going to want to distribute, which, will be in a shared editorial calendar. We'll have access to a project management board, and we can start working on deliverables in the form of a presentation deck, user personas, and then potential user stories so that we can then begin building out those digital products and solutions. Is this all making sense, y'all?
Yes.
Yeah? We on target, we on point, we feeling good?
Good.
We inspiring people, we're gonna make some change?
Yes.
Hey,
Man, we can do it.
I got y'all done with 3 minutes left. That was good. Any questions?
Well done.
No, it seemed pretty thorough to me.
All right. I'll be doing I'll send a committee-wide email. Oh, my fault.
Good to hear your voice, Miss Nina.
You too.
I hope you're safe and well.
Yeah, you too. Good to see you.
And good to see you, Mr. Peterson.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all later, all
Peace
right?
up, Tim.
Have a great weekend. Stay safe, everybody.
Bye, guys. Take
Yeah,
care.
stay safe.
Take care.
Pray for peace. Pray for peace.
Yes.
That's
yes,
right.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Absolutely.